Hello, everyone. I'm Ron Grant coming to you live and direct from Tortola in the Virgin Islands. You're watching 284 Media. When you think of living legends and heroes, we don't have to look too far. Today, my guest is a Virgin Islander living in the US along with her husband, who has been doing remarkable things on the aspect of childcare. Some 10 years now, they have been fostering and taking care of relatives, children in need, and really fostering a love for a family support network. She is the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award recipient, the lovely Laurel Smith-Mustafa. We're going to have a conversation with her when we get back on the amazing work and what's ahead. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break. Some claim that the age of a true gentleman is far behind us, but here at 284 Media, we disagree. He may appear in different guises today, but the values and ideals that make him a gent still stand. 284 Media proudly presents The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman with yours truly, Ron Grant, a show poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. Don't worry, it's not all about suits and bow ties, but raw, real-life lessons that translate to grounded, community-minded, well-rounded men. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, Season 5, a 284 Media production. Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for sticking with us. As promised, we are joined by the lovely Laurel Smith-Mustafa, also known as Auntie Lori. Welcome to our platform, and thank you so much for your time. Welcome back.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Now, as mentioned, we don't have to look too far when we're looking for just amazing, beautiful people and heroes who continue to contribute to the fabric of our societies and by far being just global citizens of the world. Laurel, your husband and yourself have been doing some really amazing things in the United States that have led you to receive the President of the United States, President Lifetime Achievement Award. Allow me to be the first. I'm sure I'm not, but publicly allow me to congratulate you and your husband on this amazing honor. Now, I want to put it into perspective for the viewing audience. You, of course, were raised in the British Virgin Islands and you were part always of a big family. That then fostered a love and appreciation for the family unit and essentially protecting your loved ones. Tell me how that has impacted your life and now led you to where you are today.
Yes, absolutely. So large family and still large, continuing to grow, right? But since I was young, I've always had cousins, little cousins. I was like the resident babysitter, or at least one of them. So just being able and being the oldest daughter, so there were some natural innate things that I kind of came into just being in that role of having to care for younger children. But I think I was naturally born with that mother, just naturally nurturing spirit about me. My mother tells me that story all the time. I was, in daycare, any circle I'm in, I'm the mother. I'm the one trying to take care of everyone. Even the people that are older than me or people that are the same age as me or younger, for some reason, my brain just processes like I'm the caretaker for everyone. And so, naturally moving to the United States is just who I am. It's my being. So naturally I became, mother to or auntie to a lot of the kids in the church, in the community. I mean, in the grocery store, it doesn't matter. I just have that innate way of just loving on children because I believe that, they need to hear it all as much as they can and feel it as much as they can.
I absolutely agree. Now, that led you, of course, in your union to your wonderful husband. You guys created a program, and I want you to provide some background on the program, put it into perspective for us. Tell us about it and how it came about.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So there's two components to the program. Our organization is called Ubuntu Youth Center. Ubuntu is an African proverb that means I am because you are. So it's that collective responsibility of each other. If I'm down, you down. If I'm suffering, you're suffering kind of thing. And just being responsible with each other. So we have a summer program that, started out with my house being that house that everybody would come to for the summer. And then it grew into my nieces and nephews bringing their friends and then their friends and their friends. And then before I knew it, we were doing this full-fledged summer camp that really was teaching life skills that,
Yes.
that's going away. So simple things like laundry or how to hem your garment or sew on a button, and cooking, things like that. The kids were able to learn and engage. And of course, the theme of the whole camp experience is family environment. So they actually refer to each other as cousins, whether they were related or not. Some of them are gone on to college and they still talk to each other as cousins. And so that's how I'm Auntie Lori, my husband is Uncle Dill. And so that's the family structure of the camp, whether we're related or not. That's just what we created, that sense of family regardless.
Understood.
And
And
the other
speaking of sense
program,
of
I mean,
family, yes,
mhm,
continue.
sorry. Yeah, the initiative that came out of that, actually, Uncle Dill Field Day, which is my husband's name, he loves sports and obviously we love children. So we put the two together. It was actually started out as, let me see how I can celebrate him for his birthday. And we put the two together, and just like old school when we were growing up, the sack race, three-legged race, those types of things. It's a community event. It's free. Everybody, their family, everybody that we know or not know, I don't care. Just come on out, have a great time in clean family fun. And we also give away a scholarship, to an after-school program to encourage kids to discover, their own creativity or the things that they love.
Amazing. Now, how long has the program been running?
So it's been 10 years. So we're excited this March, we celebrated our 10th year anniversary. So that
Amazing. Now,
was
you mentioned,
exciting.
of course, some of the kids have grown up and moved on to college, and they still continue to keep in touch. When you reflect on the past 10 years, Laurel, I mean, it's quite a milestone, of course, and we're going to get into that. But what are you most proud of when you look back at the level of impact and influence that your program has been able to impart on your communities?
Yeah, I am definitely proud of how the kids that are now going off to college, that are now forging their way into adulthood, are able to utilize the skill sets that they've learned and in this new way, a new chapter for their lives. So I see them being able to grocery shop. I see them being able to budget. I see them, we've always worked in collaboration with the parents. So by no means are we taking all of the credit for the amazing adults or pre-adults that they're becoming, but just being able to see how our relationship with the parents and the nurturing that they've gotten, the skill sets that they were able to learn, the tools that they were able to get. It has been really impactful, or they're using them now in their new phase of life. Part of the camp tradition, we did every morning affirmations and declarations. So they have those tools to use every day to push them through or to get through, as they're faced with challenges, whether it's testing or, just figuring out their next career move or, whatever it is their next chapter is, they've been able, well practiced in the area of affirmation and declarations and really calling to manifestation and existence what they want as part of our program.
Amazing. And I want to get to the highlight of this conversation. You have done the work, you and your husband have put in the work, 10 years of dedicated service, and you were recently honored by President Joe Biden, President of the United States, with the President Lifetime Achievement Award. I just want to talk about that for a second. What was the initial reaction when whether you got the call, the letter? Tell us about that journey. And of course, if you have it close by, I want to see the award.
So you're saying it, and it's still not registering that you're talking about me
Yes,
because
ma'am.
it says Lifetime Achievement Award. I'm still in my 20s. What lifetime are you
Yeah,
talking about? So yeah,
amazing.
absolutely shocked, absolutely gratitude. Clearly, there the, there's the scripture that says, "Let my work speak for me." And really, when my husband and I we set out to do the work that we're doing in the community, it's not even that we were like we're gonna just impact these youth lives. We're just being who God created us to be. We're loving in the way that we feel that God loves us, and feel like it's important for children to feel that love, not just from their parents, but to know that there's a community. And so us just being us, and to know that there's people just watching, and saw it enough to submit applications to nominate us for this award. Um, is just humbling. And as I read the letter and look at the certificate, as much as, Joe Biden is the president of the United States and such a powerful person, it's just, not a powerful person, but in the community, he has a prestigious seat. But more than that, I'm reading the words and I'm hearing it, but then I'm also feeling the confirmation of God saying, well done. Like, you're doing what you're supposed to do. And so, yeah, I have my little pin. I should have it on my jacket. It's my little pin.
Lovely.
I should have put it on my jacket, but I don't even want to take it out. It's so funny. I'm scared I'm going to lose it. And the
Wonderful.
certificate, let me grab the certificate.
Congratulations on a job well
crazy.
done. Of course,
Yeah,
the recipient, the lovely Laurel Smith-Mustafa, Virgin Islander, receiving the President of the United States Lifetime Achievement Award for the amazing work that her husband and her continue to do when it impacts children and the well-being of them across their communities. Auntie Lori, when you look at how much work still needs to be done, because it doesn't stop here, what would you say to other persons who are across the world and in similar positions like yourself to impact change, whether it be in one child or more than one child? What would you say to them, and where would you encourage them to begin?
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever is in your heart to do, just do it. Do it with whatever or whoever is around you that you have access to immediately. And that's exactly what I did. I got a vision. I feel like, God laid this vision on me. I shared it with my husband. We were already kind of doing it with our nieces and nephews just because we're auntie, you know what I mean? And uncle. But the vision came and it was like an after school program and a summer camp. And I was like, God, you are crazy. Ain't no way. I don't even know what I'm doing, what to do with that. Even saying, hey, come home to the Virgin Islands and doing that. Eventually, all these things came up as the vision was given to me. And I remember writing it all out and looking at the grandness of it. And I was like, there's no way I can do that. Like, what are you talking about? And then, the message came like, use what you have. And what I had was my nieces and nephews. And so although it was my nieces and nephews, I really kind of practiced on them, if you will. I just really said, okay, well, let me structure them hanging out at my house every summer that they were doing anyway, and put some structure to it as if it was a camp. And then before I knew it, they were inviting their friends. And then before I knew it, their parents are friends of the parents of, and I had 25 kids, 30, and it's like, wait a minute, what just happened? And so anyone that is, grappling with what they know is their vision, you don't have to have anything figured out. That's not your job. Your job is just to do what you do. Whether your job is just to shake hands, for 5 minutes a day as the kids passing off, whatever you figure out is your job, just do that. The how that's God's job. And somehow I was able to, my sister says, she gives me the analogy, like, you're like Jesus with the 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, whatever it is, that's what it 2 loaves of bread and 5 fish. Because she's like, I don't see how you stretch. I was like, I knew I only saw 2 hot dogs there. Like, how did you feed 30 of us? You know what I mean? And I'm like, that's God. God has a way. Like, if you got a corner of that hot dog, somehow when it gets to your stomach, I made it overflow. So that's where I would share with anyone. Just go for it. Don't even question it. Don't figure it out as you're going. Like, because if you think about trying to make it perfect before you start, you're not going to start. The perfection comes in the doing, and it's still evolution every time.
Amazing. Again, I want to thank you so much for your time, taking time out of your very busy schedule, and most importantly, continue to serve, continue to answering the calling of service through childcare and giving back to the communities. We are so immensely proud of you here in the Virgin Islands. Congratulations once again to you and your husband. Continue the amazing work. I'm not even going to say 10 more years, however long he has called you to do it. I wish you much success in it, and of course, continuing to raise a generation of greatness. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much for having me.
You're most welcome. Viewers, you heard it here first, of course. We were joined by the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award recipient, the lovely Laurel Smith-Mustafa, Virgin Islander, who has, along with her husband, been doing some remarkable work in the U.S. when it comes to childcare, summer camps, after-school programs, and she was recently awarded for their service. They're celebrating it, their 10th anniversary, and we want to encourage you here in the Virgin Islands as well to impact change in whatever way you can.